Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Virtual Cantina's Jedi Archives. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Jonathan.
And I am Bryce.
And today we're going to review the Star Wars High Republic issue number 5.
Written by Kevin Scott.
And artwork by Ricardo and William. Let's go to our trusted page of League of Comic Geeks to see the covers. So here's the Balance of the Force, Chapter 5, Falling Down. The Battle of Jeddah has begun as the Herald of the Open Hand stokes the fires of Jeddah. Bildar Mack and Maddie Caffley are overcome by uncontrollable fear. Tay Sarek is a prisoner of the Guardians of the Wills. Can he use the chaos to escape? And who are the mysterious strangers ransacking the Temple of the Kyber? Is nowhere safe? Let's check out these variant covers. So this, of course, is the main cover. Looks really nice. We've got Bildar Mack, my favorite, and Maddie. Then we have this.
I can't believe he's somebody on Jedi. I think what the fear thing is, what's behind him. That guy's in the comic book. It's not the
right. He's the sorcerer of the sorcerer of what is it? Sorcerer of
I don't remember off the top of my head, but yes,
it's right here. Sorcerer of Tund, the Dark Sorcerer of Tund. That's who he is. Now, the Dark Sorcerer of Tund, there are other Force users. Because remember, on Jeddah, we have all the different types of Force, people that are in tune with the Force. And so the Sorcerers of Tund are in tune with the dark side of the Force. So interesting that they're coexisting. But yes. So I like this cover. And that is, I think, what he sees from the Nameless Terror. As we were discussing earlier, it makes everyone see whatever they fear.
That's interesting that we actually get a visual, because namely when the Nameless Terrors have been attacking, it's a book. We have to use our imagination.
Right.
So it's interesting that they give us that.
That visual, yeah. Here's a first cover, the Bengal variant. You know, I love this cover.
Yeah,
very cool.
Because that's my man, Bildar Mack.
He's going oi right there. That's what he's doing.
The next cover is this Maddie? Oh no, it's Olivia.
Yeah, it's Olivia.
Oh yeah, because she takes off, right? That was pretty cool.
With Master Liban.
Check out her buckle.
It's very interesting to see her name like that in the bottom. And you don't see that on covers.
Not typically.
Yeah.
And
but
the Temple of the Kyber in the background.
Yeah, the background is really cool on this one. I mean, like, you also don't see covers like that. Figure up front and then a nice city background way like that. Landscape, that's nice.
Right. She's like at a window too, because there's like a really ornate window. And the view is Jeddah. Beautiful. Now I want to go back to the movies where they show Jeddah and see if I can find any of these places.
Well, you'll recognize something.
It's just rubble, right?
And here's the last variant cover.
That is the one that I have.
This is a nice one. I like it.
Yeah, I do. I like it a lot.
That's Tay Sarek, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I like him a lot. He's a cool guy. Right.
He's a cool guy.
Sure is.
Yeah, it's just those ones.
And then I think, Jonathan, you can read the scroll for us today?
Yes, sir. The High Republic, Balance of the Force, Chapter 5, Falling Down. The Path of the Open Hand has arrived on Jeddah. Their herald demanding the convocation ban all use of the Force in the Holy City. But when the herald is dismissed out of hand, he takes an anger on the streets, stirring up an angry mob with words of outrage and fear. All the while, Tay Sarek languishes in prison in the Temple of the Kyber, under the watchful eye of the Guardians of the Wills, unaware that the city is about to burn. As the convocation attempts to calm the rioters, a nameless horror moves through the crowd. A wave of terror leaving Bildar Mack and Maddie Catholic, incapable of controlling the Force. And it's not just the Jedi. Tarnamak, the representative of the sorcerers of Tund, is swamped with terrible visions and lashes out, unleashing his power on the crowd. That's a very foreboding scroll. I like that.
But this comes directly after the episode or issue number 4, where we saw that what's her name? Yana Ro had called the terror with her staff of seasons. And so when it starts looming closer, they all start to see these visions. And they're like, something's not right. Something's going wrong. And so it starts out right where everyone's going crazy. Everyone's like in a big mess because everyone's seeing different things. They don't all see the same. And as we saw, the sorcerer of Tund sees that like that fiery vision that we have on the cover, right? But then Vildarmak reverts back to what he saw as a child. So it's this image. So then we know that everyone is seeing different things, and it's all the Force sensitives, all the people that have Force sensitivity are being affected by this terror. But it's anything that causes fear in them. That's pretty interesting. And it's funny because everyone wants to take control of the situation, and then the one that's like, I call her Poison Ivy, I forget her name, but she starts like pulling out all these vines that come up from the ground to like entangle everybody. Because she's seeing this terror too. And that's just riling up the crowd more because they're saying, wait a minute, because the Herald is telling them, hey, the Jedi are lying to you. And they're trying to take over and keep things from you. Then all of a sudden she starts wrapping them up in these vines. They're like, wait a minute, here's more proof that they're not, the Jedi are not on our side. So they start fighting back.
I think her name is Sousa Lee.
Yeah, Sousa Lee, aka Poison Ivy.
Yeah, that's right.
Hard not to make that comparison. Yes.
So all these new that this series really introducing, it's definitely phase 1. All these other types of Force users that really haven't had anything like this in Star Wars, except maybe the witches of Dathomir. But we have these. In my mind, this is kind of I even have to watch Mandalorian. There is no magic in Star Wars universe. There's different ways of using the Force.
Right.
So people, oh, there's magic here. There's no real. You're using the Force to do something else. So this really like opens up possibilities, man. You have a woman who can use the Force to control plants. I mean, that's just like, it's something else, man. It's people who are very used to traditional Star Wars. This is very progressive thinking, very out there. Yeah.
Well, they started down this path when they brought in the Bendu, like in Rebels, right?
Yeah,
so
Bendu.
They're bringing a lot of other things in of different Force. I don't want to say Force users because it's not really that they use the Force, but Force sensitives or Force communications or communing with the Force.
Maz is Force
right. Maz is Force sensitive.
They use the Force, just not the way we traditionally think you use the Force.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like move something in their hand. It's having a feeling is using the Force. I mean, so I think it's using the Force is different. Yeah, so it's very. I think it makes me think more people can call upon the Force than people think in the universe, just not in the way that Jedis or Sith would traditionally use it.
Right. And it reminds me too of the EU, like when not Kylo Ren, but who was it? It's oh my gosh, Kylo Ren's character in the EU. Who was he? Leia's son, the twin, Jason. So Jason could flow walk. Remember that in the EU? So he used the Force to like time travel, but remember he could flow walk. So that was a way of Force that we hadn't heard about before either.
Yeah, all this, and almost it sounds like magic is just this capture. Oh, yeah, it's magic.
Well, for the non-Force sensitive, they think it's magic.
Yeah,
right.
Because come on, if we saw somebody using the Force, it would look like magic to us.
Well, even us Star Wars fans watching this stuff and reading this stuff, I don't want to spoil the episode of Mandalorian, but they were talking about these magical waters. And I don't think this episode won't be released for a while. I don't think there's magic anything. I think everything's somehow not manipulate, but
through the force.
transform through the forest.
Well,
I
so
agree.
everyone seen the episode. It doesn't matter when this airs.
So let's get back to the episode on hand. So then, they start going crazy, and then all of a sudden it subsides, right? And I think it's Olivia. She says, "Hey, this isn't something that just happened. This is something that's been done to us." And they cut back to the mother because she's the one that's orchestrated this whole thing. And then we see that they start, she knows it's something or someone, and I think she's met with the mother before, right, Olivia? So I think she's going to head back over there to see what's going on. She starts fighting her way out, and then it swipes over to the Temple of the Kyber. And then at the Temple of the Kyber, there's somebody who's banging on the door, right? And he's like a mole creature, which is very reminiscent of Obi-Wan series, remember?
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's same species. Same species.
Same species. I like that.
That's
He's like,
relevant.
"Hey," yeah, he's like, help me, brother." He's like, "Sure, come on in and let you in." He's like, "You would lock the doors with the city burning," and he gets ambushed, right? And all these people come in and are like, "Wait, what are you doing? We got to keep it safe." And they start like fighting the temple guard. He's one of the guards. This scene right here, really good scene. So I think that they're the path of the open hand, the children of the hand that were going in there to liberate the force sensitive artifacts. Because
Well, yeah, because they were specifically after one artifact because he quote unquote asked for it in the episode or in the issue.
Thing that I think is super cool about this group of children is who do they look like? See, I mean, this is dead ringer for the Nihil. I mean, they look exactly like him to me in this. So
yeah,
like
they
this,
do.
This is the
Well, remember,
the clone trooper armor.
Well, their ship is their main ship is the Gaze Electric, and we have Marta Rowe, which is who's the leader of the Nile? It's Markion Rowe.
So this is that's pretty cool because as soon as I saw this page, I was like, "Well, I know who these people are."
It is a Nile. Yep, absolutely. And so they break into the temple, and what do you remember from that scene, Bryce?
Sorry.
Oh, when they break into the Temple of the Kyber?
Yeah.
And Tesseract's in there. I mean, he's incarcerated in there. So he's like, "What's going on?"
The droid comes in and rescues him.
All right. His trusty little droid, that little...
Yeah, and he's been kind of narrating what's going on the outside to like what he's hearing the whole time until his droid shows up and they bust out.
His little Pokemon ball.
Yeah. But what I found cool here is that we see a turn in his character a little bit more because he's like, I got to get out of here. Like it was just survival. And then he ran past, it's not a guardian. What was he? What was his name? Well, I'm trying to blank, man. Wasn't a guardian, but he was one of the like temple like curators.
This guy right here. This guy.
Yeah. And clearly this guy's about ready to, become one with the force. And just as Tay goes by, he decides this isn't right. I should help out. And Yui just like knocks
He
the
helps
dude
him
out.
out. Yeah, here he is.
So yeah.
Right there.
Very cool. Love to see that turn and see that he's like, okay, I can't leave these guys to defend themselves. I gotta help.
And then I was a little confused on this scene. So they show the mother right after that. And then there's this vision of the childhood with force sensitivity. But who is that child? Is that the mother when she was a child?
No, I think that's Olivia.
Well, Olivia's sensing it, but I think this is the mother.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
Well, I see a lot of freckles on Olivia and the.
Yeah.
I don't know that. It's a drawing, so they're very similar. It's hard to tell. Yeah, doesn't really give you much. What's going on?
There's no description, right? It's just images, and so I'm a little confused when there's no dialogue. I'm like, wait a minute, I need a book to read.
I think she's sensing. I think Olivia is sensing something when she was a child that invoked fear, and that's what she's seeing.
But she doesn't. Yeah, but she looks happy here.
Yeah.
You know, when she's moving objects.
I don't know.
Mikey.
I think
Frozen Mikey.
the purpose of this panel is to make you think, and they're going to do more later on. It's going to make sense later.
Right, exactly. But we do know, like, in the mix of everything, that things are about to get worse out in the main town square. I know one of the buildings that the Path of the Open Hand is crumbling, and Vildar runs in to do what he can to help.
Sorry, I got bumped out.
All good. We're talking. We'll finish it up the way we're at right now.
All right, sounds good.
But yeah, then Vildar runs in, and then we see Olivia run off with Master Liban because there's something going on outside of the city, and that's when we learn the fate of the Jedi, the Jedi statue that we see in Rogue One.
Yeah,
yes, that was really sad.
So there was a lot to unpack in this issue. Lot to unpack.
Kind of I mean, it had to come down eventually, and I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
we all
100%. Yeah.
But,
And now we know how it happened.
My thing is, I think the scale, I know it's a drawing, but I thought this right here, you see the people there, they're, I don't know, 1/6 the size. I felt like the statue is a lot taller in Rogue One. Like,
yeah,
4 times.
If you look at the statue, I feel like the statue's still kind of going away on an angle, which means like it's
Perspective, maybe.
An illusion that it looks smaller than it is, but that angle is telling me it's a heck of a lot bigger than. I think it's the way that that's drawn, like with an angle,
maybe
that it's a lot taller.
First glance is like,
right, yeah, 100%, yeah.
But I think it's the forced perspective though, because of the angle. We're closer to the people that are standing, so the statue's farther away, so it's going to be a lot taller than it looks.
Yep.
And there's no way they're going to tear down a stone statue. The couple people in ropes. They need what happens next.
Right. Yeah. Well, we definitely know that it comes down with some E4. Star Wars C4.
Star Wars C4.
Thermal detonators.
So overall, I think it was a solid issue.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gives us what's happening in Jedi, which is, I think, the big part, very important focal point of this phase. What's happening here, and obviously it rolls into the OT pretty much. So it's really
cool. And
I love
definite tie-ins to Rogue One, which leads right into the original trilogy for sure.
And I just absolutely love that we're learning different ways of using the Force that's just non-traditional. It doesn't have to be Jedi or Sith. You can use it other ways. I think that's
right.
Really more what the Force is supposed to be. It's been bogarted for so long. So we need the open hand to free the Force so we can see more fun things.
I love it because, like, we're in this phase of Star Wars where the Sith have been defeated back in the Old Republic. So, like, the Jedi Sith wars are gone. The Sith is, supposedly eradicated.
Right. But remember, they're still hiding in the background because
they've been
waiting until the right moment.
Eradicated. The Jedi kind of rise to this prominence. But yeah, we're in this freedom, like what Jonathan's saying. We're just in this freedom where right now, like, Force users can be of a lot of different walks of life, and they could have been there this whole time, or because things evolve over time. Like, we're just seeing a lot of different different ways to,
Yeah. It's exciting. Very exciting.
agree.
So ready for our final ratings, guys?
What are our
many-
ratings again? What's
How
the
many holocrons? How many holocrons?
Holocrons.
So we can give out of 5 holocrons. 1 is the lowest, 5 being the highest. 3 holocrons would be like, don't read it. So I think I give this issue
3 to 5? Huh? That's our window.
yes.
5.
If you recommend somebody to read it, it's got to be at least a
Never going
3.
to rate something probably below 4. We've yet to do it.
I know. This one's like, I give it a 4 out of 5 holocrons. Sorry.
It should stick to 1 to 5. I'm gonna go.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
At a true 1 to 5. I'm gonna give it like a just under 4, like 3.8, 3.9. It's short. It's a very short one. But like I said, it shows us different ways of using the Force, and it shows us what happens at Jedi statue. So those are great stuff. It is quick. Literally everything could happen in 5 minutes in this story. So it's a quick story, but yeah, it's still really good.
Bryce?
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I'm 4 out of 5 on this one. I liked the underlying Taserek story in here. It was, obviously sad to see the Jedi thing, but having the backstory of what happened to it, to where when you watch Rogue One, you're like, oh yeah, I know how that happened. It's really cool now. It, kind of adds to the story that is already great. But yeah, like for me, it was just really chaotic. There's a lot of chaos, like a lot of different directions. And right at the end, I think then it kind of honed into, what we're going to see in the next episode. But yeah, 4 out of 5.
Good. So be sure to join us next time on Virtual Cantina's Jedi Archives. Visit our sister pages at Star Wars Book Nerds and Star Wars Comic Book Club, as well as our main Star Wars Celebration Europe page. And we look forward to having you join us next time.
Bye.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.